Take a moment, catch your breath, and roll out with ease. Save over $20,000 off your new Toyota Hiace because TDC Automotive is paying. Get your Toyota Hiace today. TDC Automotive, #1 for a reason. Terms and conditions apply.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
It's Financial Information Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Financial empowerment through education. If you don't know what that is, let me tell you all about it. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money. Business stability. Step up financially. Heavily regions economy. Work to financial security. Prosperity for all of we. FIM is for you and me. FIM is for everybody. So tell your friends and your whole family. Financial empowerment through education. Build yourself and the entire region. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money. Business stability. Step up financially. Financial Information Month. Financial empowerment through education. It's Financial Information Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Financial empowerment through education. If you don't know what that is, let me tell you all about it. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money. Business stability. Step up financially. Heavily regions economy. Work to financial security. Prosperity for all of we. FIM is for you and me. FIM is for everybody. So tell your friends and your whole family. Financial empowerment through education. Build yourself and the entire region. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money. Business stability. Step up financially. Financial Information Month. Financial empowerment through education.
Good morning, St. Kitts and Nevis, and welcome to Inside the News on WinFM 98.9. Today is Saturday, October 9, 2021, and I am your host for today's edition, Devon Cornelius. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. Today we are focusing on Financial Information Month, and we have on today's panel Miss Elizabeth Wayland. She is the Senior Corporate Relations Officer at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And we also have Miss Camilla Lawrence, the Public Relations Manager at the Social Security. As I mentioned, we are focusing on Financial Information Month, and these two wonderful ladies will lead the discussion on areas that are being focused upon for this month of FIM, Financial Information Month. So the theme for FIM is financial empowerment through education. Financial empowerment through education. And Ms. Wayland will speak on all matters pertaining to FIM, whilst Ms. Lawrence will touch on one of the sub-themes. Now, for the Financial Information Month 2021, there are 3 sub-themes. Ms. Lawrence will touch on minding your business, how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. Good morning, Ms. Wayland, and thank you so much for accepting our invitation here at WIN to have this conversation on Financial Information Month. Are you hearing me clearly?
I can hear you clearly, and good morning, and thank you for having me. Very happy to be here.
Awesome. Good morning to you, Miss Lawrence, and thank you so much for joining us here on WinFM.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So we're going to get right into the discussion. Ms. Whelan, you are here today to focus on all matters pertaining to FIM. For those of our listeners who may not know what FIM stands for, it's basically Financial Information Month. The theme is financial empowerment through education. Quickly, can you give us a brief overview of that theme?
Okay. Certainly, as you said, Financial Information Month, or as we call it, FIM, has been around for, since 2002. And it's something that is spearheaded by the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank and its FIM partners, not just in St. Kitts, but throughout the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union, or as we call it, the ECCU. And that is the little region that uses the EC dollar, the EC currency. So the goal for FIM really is to foster strong and sustainable economic growth and to improve the well-being of our citizens. And how we do that? We do that through education. So hence the theme, financial empowerment through education. We want to empower our people. We want to get them to have better lives, be better citizens, be better persons in their communities. And we believe we could do that through educating them in different ways, educating them on different topics, educating them on how to manage their finances, how to deal with their small businesses, how to get with the times, especially now we're dealing with the COVID pandemic. Things have changed drastically. So we also want to help them to cope with the changes in time.
Thank you, Ms. Whelan. I am looking at the area of focus, which is innovation in the face of financial adversity, respond, recover, and rise. And I like this area of focus. As you know, we are grappling with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic all across the Caribbean region. Can you expound on that?
Certainly. When we came together this year to decide what our sub-theme would be, or what our area of focus would be for FIM 2020, we agreed, the partners, not just in St. Kitts, once again, it's our partners throughout the ECCU, we agreed that we had to expand what we started last year. Last year, we also spoke about adversity and how to deal with it, but we are still in that realm. We're still in that headspace when it comes to COVID-19. And we decided that it would be best for us to expand and even expound more on how to cope with COVID-19. Now, we've gone through it for a year. We looked at all the challenges. Now, how can we get out of it? We could do that through innovation. Okay, and if we know how to go ahead and innovate, especially in our businesses, especially in how we manage our finances, then we will be able to respond effectively, leading to recovery and rising above what COVID-19 presented to us for the past 18 months or so.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Whelan. As we see here, innovation in the face of financial adversity, respond, recover, rise. What are some of the measures or steps implemented from the ECCB that will allow Caribbean economies to respond, recover, and rise?
ECCB has made it its responsibility to support our member governments, our member governments and our member countries. So if you would visit the ECCB website, you will see that there is one page dedicated to the response for COVID-19. And on there, you will see the various ways that the bank has gone through to help our member countries, whether it's through financial support, whether it's through advice, whether it's through taking the lead on the loan moratorium, that the banks are undertaking. So there are various ways that the ECCB has really tried to assist our member countries and our member governments to deal with this COVID pandemic. And I would really encourage persons to check out our website www.eccb-centralbank.org and check out the response to COVID-19 page. There's a lot of information on there that you could look at.
And with those policies or steps that have been implemented by the ECCB, how soon would you say Caribbean economies would be able to rebound or recover from this pandemic?
Well, it's not something that we could say right now because as you could see, the pandemic is not over. It's going to be there for a while. We've seen outbreaks in our member countries. St. Kitts, for example, we were doing great for a while, and then we're in our third or fourth wave. In Dominica, same thing. St. Lucia, Antigua, which are two big economies, they are also going through a very, very tough time. So in terms of saying exactly when we will recover, that's something that we will have to wait and see as time goes by. But it has definitely impacted our economies.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wade. And as we continue quickly, now I want to go back to the theme, which financial empowerment through education. Can you speak to some of the strategies or steps that the ECCB has taken to educate the populace on Financial Information Month?
We have, throughout our 8 member countries, we have, since we cannot do our face-to-face like we have done in the past, we have really taken to the airwaves. So in all our member countries, we'll have these different radio stations, we will have different discussions with different panelists, presenters, talking on the various sub-themes for the month, and also regarding the broader theme, which is financial empowerment through education. So our partners, the ECCB, and along with our partners, we have taken the airwaves. Even if there's the COVID-19 pandemic going on, we are not daunted by that. There are ways to do it. So we are taking to the airwaves and having various discussions and encouraging them to really move forward. And one of the things that will be taking place this month is our virtual business symposium. We can't have it face to face, so of course we're going on the airwaves again. It's going to be streamed live. It will be a really great event. It's scheduled for the 20th of October at 7 p.m. It will be about 2 hours. It will be streamed live on the FIM Facebook page. So I would really encourage everyone to get on there on that night and be part of the conversation, ask your questions, listen to the speakers. They will be speaking mainly on the third area this year, which is minding your business, how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. So really, I would just encourage everyone to get on board, get on the FIM Facebook page, just go to Facebook and look up Financial Information Month ECCU and you will find the Facebook page. It is very easy to find. It's going to be a great event and we encourage everyone to tune in and check it out. You know that now many small businesses are suffering. They are worried about what the future holds, whether they will be able to bounce back after this pandemic. But luckily, there are measures that could be taken to assist. And this symposium is going to be focused on that. And we have a lot of speakers from our member countries who will be there giving advice, talking about in terms of the expertise, what different businesses could do. So tune in 20th October, 7 p.m. on the FIM Facebook page. You won't regret it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Willen. Quickly, can you say who are your target audience for this business symposium?
The topic will be on small businesses. So the target audience, of course, will be small business owners, persons who are thinking about going into business, persons who have small businesses and, they're worried about what's going on. As a matter of fact, anyone could listen because we all, play a part in getting our small business communities to elevate, moving forward in this pandemic. So anyone could listen, but the key audience would be small business owners, persons interested in small businesses.
Thank you, Ms. Whelan. Ms. Lawrence, as we spoke about earlier, the area of focus for FIM in 2021, which is innovation in the face of financial adversity, respond, recover, rise. And it says the activities for the month will zoom in on the following sub-themes. Today we want to talk about sub-theme 3, which is minding your business, how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. I know right now a number of small businesses are worried and they're wondering what tomorrow really holds for their business, their employees, and they're concerned. It speaks about fundamental business principles, practices, managing your business finances, among other things. Can we get your take on this sub-theme?
Sure. Social Security is particularly at this point interested in helping the self-employed to keep encouraged. Even all our employers, keep encouraged, keep focused. It's difficult. We recognize the difficulty. And with the difficulty, there is some delinquency. We don't want our stakeholders to feel afraid and shy away or even close down, shut door. So we are encouraging them to use the resources that are available, being our compliance department, our inspectors. We are here to provide information as to how you can keep afloat. What we are even implementing such strategies such as come in and have a conversation. We just really want you to come in and have a conversation. The strategy would be, let us set a plan. If you are behind, don't shy away, don't hide away. Let us focus on how we can keep you afloat. So we're encouraging the self-employed to come in, have a conversation. We understand that you may be falling behind. You're worried about how you'd benefit in the future. But if you stop, it means that you are preventing yourself from accessing future benefits or immediate benefits. What we want you to do is face the problem. Yes, I'm behind, but let us work together to make it worthwhile having your self-employed coverage. So that's one of the main strategies that we're doing. We've also, just before the launch of Financial Information Month, in July was our 25th anniversary of self-employed coverage. And knowing that we are going into Financial Information Month, we too hosted a virtual seminar with focus on the self-employed to inspire them to continue to innovate. We've seen, even through this period, we are seeing self-employed persons registering. It means that they understand the importance of coverage, but after the registration, we see a tremendous fall off. You realize that, yes, you need self-employed coverage, but then the other priorities take focus. You want to pay your mortgage, you want to feed your children, you want to take care of your immediate basic needs. So we understand that there's a balancing act. And so as a Financial Information Month partner, we want to support the ECCU and Central Bank and all our partners to bring the conversation to the forefront, because we can empower each other through education. Sometimes we just need that someone to say, it's okay, we know you're down, but we're here to work together so we can keep moving. We want to move past this. We want to see growth in all our economies because it affects our bottom line. It affects our standard of living. It affects how we feel mentally. And even now, as Financial Information Month is observed in October, with a lot of other things being mental health, and so it all ties in. Because once you don't feel well about yourself, everything falls apart. Your financial stability, everything else is affected.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lawrence. I'm looking at one of the areas here which speaks to managing your business finances. And as you mentioned, self-employed individuals, what are some of the plans in place to assist them in managing their finances?
Well, we've continued to have the conversation. We've continued to provide resources such as bookkeeping and so on, workshops and seminars. So Before the year is over, we are planning also to have a small focus group again to have the conversation on it. Financial Information Month brings the information to the forefront, but the action has to follow up. And so we'll continue to do our part in that. We've had conversations about managing. We recently held, not recently, but we've held in the past year a self-employed symposium with that as the focus. We had bookkeepers coming in to show them how to do it. We had persons there, Rodney Brown, to show innovation, how you can attach digital transformation, especially at a time like this, for small businesses to thrive.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lawrence. Would you say that some of these workshops that have been held in the past, would you say they have been fruitful, or in terms of people responding and implementing some of the ideas they've learned from these workshops?
Sure, they have. We recently did a PSA, an anniversary message, and the focus was back to business. And as a result of these attendees to the virtual seminar, they have taken on technological advances or changes to promote their business. We had a nail tech who is now doing online booking. So out of the conversation, they were prompted to take action. We see some of the self-employed persons using different platforms, whether it's JAD or more banking. So they are moving from the paper into digital, and that will help them to sustain and move forward as we go through this pandemic together.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Ms. Lawrence. As we're continuing this conversation, Ms. Whalen, back to you. Quickly, I want to know about some of the activities that will be had throughout the month of October or for Financial Information Month. Can you speak to some of those activities and what is the aim or focus of these activities?
Our key activities, since we can't do face-to-face like we used to do in the past. For example, we used to have our fair in the square, Independence Square. We used to have our charity, kind of like a drive where we would go throughout, send kits, giving up our care packages and so forth. Since we can't do that this year, one of our key focus is to hit the airways. And the objective of that is to educate the public on the different sub-themes for FIM. Get in the digital way. Ensure that you are managing your finances as best as possible. And if you're a small business, here are things that you could do. And we heard Ms. Lawrence a while ago talking about the small business aspect of it. So that's the key objective of hitting the airwaves and continue to educate our general public. Even if we cannot do things face to face, we still want to engage our young people. And we thought, how could we do that? We know that they enjoy the games while they learn about the various partners, the various FIM partners in the Federation. They will have gone through activities last year in terms of a treasure hunt and so forth. But this year, since they can't come together to do that, we've digitized the treasure hunt, and we have what we call a virtual treasure hunt this year. And this is mainly to get the students, even if they can't be together, to work together in the digital environment using what we call the Smart Finance app. Now, this is not just for our students. Anyone could go ahead in the Play Store, download the Smart Finance app. You will know it when you see that the S in SMART is actually a $sign, and there's a little green light bulb as part of the branding. You could go ahead and download that. There are tons and tons of tips on how to manage your finances. And in these tough times, we know that's critical. So the students will be using the Smart Finance app to go through what we call a virtual treasure hunt. So while they cannot get together as groups anymore, they will still be learning about our Financial Information Month partners through that exercise. Attached to that exercise is what we have. We have what we call a TikTok challenge, where they will be putting together just a short video to express themselves on one of the themes of FIM. So we're really looking forward to that. The young folks now is all about TikTok and little short videos and so forth. So we're giving them the opportunity to use that platform to express themselves about any one of the topics surrounding the sub-themes of FIM this year.
Thank you so much, Ms. Whelan. I'm happy that you spoke about that, and I wanted to ask: would you say that some of these initiatives would encourage young people to become entrepreneurs or small business owners? Would you say that these activities would also encourage them to be a bit more responsible with their finances, or better manage their finances?
Oh, certainly, certainly. One thing this pandemic has taught us is that we have to be creative. We have to be innovative, and it doesn't matter how old we are or how young we are. We will learn something from this, and that is why we decided to focus on innovation in the face of financial adversity in order to get out of this pandemic victorious. And we know that our young people, they're going to learn from that. So if they express themselves in the activities that they will be taking part in, by doing that, they will learn more about the theme. They'll be able to explore. They'll be able to ask questions, and of course, they will be able to open their minds towards innovation, towards saying, how can I be a small business owner? How can I create jobs for other people? How can I create my own job and not just look for a job? Because we see in this pandemic, persons are losing their jobs left and right because of the strain the pandemic has put on the economy. But by encouraging them and giving them those ideas as to how they could do this, I think they will learn from it and they will practice it. Because even if this pandemic may be over in 1 or 2 years, we never know what's going to happen in the future. And these young people, they are our future.
Thank you so much, Ms. Whelan. Ms. Lawrence,
if I could add to Ms.
Sure.
Whelan's conversation, even the very theme song is youth-filled, and that by itself would get young people interested. It's a young artist, and the very beat pulls you to listen, and from that, as subliminal as it is, you get the message. Learn to save financially. It says all the little things right there about how we can move forward, especially at a time like this. Music is more than just the rhythm. It does something to you, so the song has already stuck in many young people's mind. Even humming it, that means the message has gone through their brains already.
You're absolutely right, Camila. Just listening to the song, and if you listen to the song, it's like a laundry list of things that you should do
Correct.
in order to be financially responsible.
I absolutely agree with you. It's very catchy. When I first heard it, I was like, okay, this is a nice little soca piece.
It's needed. It's needed. Sometimes when you think about financial information, we think about our present situation, and it could be daunting, but the music alone is uplifting, and you say, okay, I can change, I can save, I can use my money wisely, and it gives you the encouragement just like that to start again.
Mm-hmm. As we continue this conversation, Ms. Lawrence, I'm looking at the Minding Your Business, how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. It says seeking new opportunities. Can you speak to that one?
Sure. We've seen this already in the statistics at Social Security. We've seen where persons have been employed and are now using their skill that they had rest down and not paid attention to. We've seen persons who were especially employed in the tourism sector are now getting into cooking. They're now they're doing different things. So they're taking the adversity and using it to move forward. And so we see the statistics already showing we have a downturn in tourism, but other areas, personal shopping, personal solutions, business solutions are coming forward. So in fact, persons are responding to the change. We have to. We are resilient persons. And so that survivalism in us has prompted us to make a change.
Thank you so much for that. As we spoke about earlier, education and educating small business owners on the importance of managing their finances. I wanted to ask about what are some of the efforts being done to encourage small business owners, young people who are interested in starting a small business. What are some of the efforts being done to assist them in perhaps getting a certificate in accounting or financial management, or perhaps doing one of those subjects at the CSEC or CXC level? Can Miss Whalen, can you speak to that, or Miss Lawrence?
Well, directly, Social Security is not directly involved in getting them the certification. However, we
Right.
are heavily involved in education. So, Social Security, we've recently selected our nine of each of the high schools throughout the Federation, I don't want to say nine, I think it's seven, about seven or so new scholars, and we're inducting them into Social Security's Susanna Lee High School Scholarship. This program provides not only financial support, but mentorship. So we identify areas that they may be interested in, even as early as first form, and this follows them all the way up to sixth form if they continue in school. So that provides them mentorship, someone who is able to identify whether they want to be in entrepreneurship or whatever skill they want to be in. We not only provide the financial assistance, but the mentorship to help them through that. Apart from that, we also invest heavily through other scholarship programs, being the Stanley Amory Technical Assistance and the Robert Manning University Scholarship as well. So Social Security does its bit as it relates to the education of our young people or persons interested to advance themselves.
Thank you so much, Miss Lawrence. We'll take a break quickly, and then when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. But before we go, Miss Wayland, would you like to add to that?
Yes, certainly. In terms of Ms. Lawrence spoke from the education standpoint to a certain extent in terms of school and so forth and scholarships. But at the central bank, we have different avenues that we use to assist small business owners. We have and persons interested in going into small business. We have a small business workshop that we do throughout our 8-member countries. We also have what we call our savings and investment course, and we have many alumni from that course who started their small businesses throughout the region, and some of them actually went even further and do well. So our alumni that is in that course very vast, and that though it says savings and investment costs, it helps the small business owners a lot in terms of how to set up their business, how to deal with their finances, how to do their little bookkeeping. All these things are included in here. We also have what we call a small business simulation. It's kind of like a game, but the small businesses, they would come in groups and they would use this game to go through the entire cycle of a business, from the time you start getting your orders, to filling your orders, doing your bookkeeping, to the time when you have to employees, getting employees on board. It is like a board game, yes, but it's very realistic, and it helps the small business owners a lot. And not just small business owners, anyone would be interested to be part of it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Whedon. We'll take this break to say a thank you to our sponsors and to hear that jingle one more time. And then when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. For those of you who just tuned in, this is Inside the News on WinFM 98.9, and I'm your host, Devon Cornelius. We have on the panel Ms. Elizabeth Wayland. She is the Senior Corporate Relations Officer at the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. And we also have Ms. Camilla Lawrence, who's the Public Relations Manager at the Social Security. Ms. Whalen is speaking on all matters pertaining to Financial Information Month, and Ms. Lawrence is speaking on sub-theme 3, which is minding your business, how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. We'll take this break, and we will be right back.
smartphone, tablet, or computer. With our safe and secure payment checkout, you choose the option to pick up in-store or have your goods delivered right to your door. It's that easy. Shop tdcgroup.com, your one-stop online store.
Shop anywhere, shop anytime, same quality you love. Now online. Shop
www.shoptdcgroup.com.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib. It's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
It's Financial Information Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Financial empowerment through education. If you don't know what that is, let me tell you all about it. Learn to spend wisely. FIA. Invest to grow your money. FIA. Business stability. FIA. Step up financially. FIA. Heavily regions economy. Work to financial security. Prosperity for all of we. FIM is for you and me. FIM is for everybody. So tell your friends and your whole family. Financial empowerment through education. Build yourself and the entire vision. Learn to spend wisely. FIM. Invest to grow your money. FIM. Business stability. FIM. Step up financially. FIM. Financial Information Month. Financial empowerment through education.
Welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. It's just about 15 minutes before the hour of 12 and we are winding down. We'll stop at 12 for the headline news. If you're just tuning in, I'm your host for today's edition of Inside the News. I'm Devon Cornelius, and I have on the program today Miss Elizabeth Wayland, Senior Corporate Relations Officer at ACCB, and Miss Camilla Lawrence, Public Relations Manager at Social Security. The topic or the area today we're focusing on is Financial Information Month. Financial empowerment through education is the theme, and the area of focus is innovation in the face of financial adversity. Respond, recover, and rise. And we know for the most part, economies across the ECCU, across the Caribbean, they have been focusing on responding, recovering, and rising out of this pandemic, which is not just a health crisis, but as we've realized, a financial crisis too. And we are back. Miss Lawrence, I wanted to speak more on sub-theme 3, how your small business can stay afloat in tough times. I know we may have some small business owners listening, and they may want to know what are some of the things they can do to keep their business going, to keep their business afloat. I am seeing here that we have funding assistance options. Can you speak to that?
Well, actually, Social Security has provided what we call the COVID-19 Relief Fund earlier in the 2020, late into 2020. We recently also provided some funding to the tune of $250,000 for a food voucher initiative. That was our specific outreach to assist small businesses, to assist employees, self-employed persons, anyone who was affected by the downturn in the economy. So that is our effort as it relates specifically to funding. We're not a lending institution per se, but we, as a corporate citizen, as a social partner, we recognize it as our primary focus to provide relief to those persons who support the development of the Social Security Fund. So that was our specific response to that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lawrence. Ms. Whelan, would you like to speak to funding assistance options?
In terms of funding assistance options, that's one of the key topics that will be addressed at the symposium on the 20th of October. We'll have different panelists talking about it. We'll have the CEO of what we call the ECPCGC. That's a new establishment that is a sister company at the central bank, and she will be addressing those. So we would just want everyone to tune in to check this out, listen and hear from the experts in the different areas on the ground throughout the ECCU talking about funding opportunities and how small businesses could get assistance during this time.
Thank you so much, Ms. Whelan. I'm still looking at how your small business can stay afloat in a tough time. One of the listed here, we have adaptation and innovation. Can I get both of you weighing in on the adaptation and innovation? Ms. Lawrence, would you like to go first?
Adaptation and innovation. It is necessary for us at this time to look at our business models. Even us, as the primary facilitators of this program, our individual businesses have had to change for business continuity. Some of us are still working away from the office. Some of us are there. Some are on shift systems. But we do recognize that throughout, whether you're a big business or a small business, micro business, there is the importance for you to adapt to the current situation, or you'll just shrivel up, fizzle away, and die. So we recognize that there is the need for innovation. Look at your business processes. Go back to your original plan. What can you do differently to move forward? What can you eliminate? Because in some of the businesses, we need to remove some of the things that we may be offering. So it's important that as we thrive or look about how we can stay afloat, that we adapt to the present situation, make a change, refocus, redirect, and then the innovation will show itself, will come forward, whether it is that you move to, and we see it everywhere now. You look on an ad, there is the more banking information, there's the JAD app. So we recognize that our stakeholders are moving in the right direction of adapting and innovating for their business survival.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lawrence. Ms. Whelan, would you like to weigh in on that?
Certainly, I couldn't have said it better. Camilla is absolutely right. You cannot just lay down and die. You have to think of, how can I change? How can I adapt? I mean, over the millions of years that we've been on this planet, we had to adapt throughout. When something happened, we have to adapt in order to survive. And this is having the pandemic this year, well, for 18 months now, is no exception. And how are you going to adapt? You have to think of a way to be innovative, be creative. Well, I used to do it this way before, but probably I could use my phone now. Probably I could use, just recently, I can't remember what the service was, but the company said, you don't need to call, just use the WhatsApp. Oh, it was school books for my daughter. And I did the order on WhatsApp for the bookstore. And all I had to do was show up, pick up, and leave. I didn't have to interact too much with too many people. So these are the ways that we have to adapt. We have to look at what we have at hand, what tools we have, our digital tools and so forth, and how can we use those tools to adapt, to be more innovative in order for us to survive. And as the theme for the area of focus for FIM say, you have to respond, you have to recover, and you have to rise. And doing that is by being innovative.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wayland. As we're talking about small businesses responding or adapting or innovating in this time, we know for some businesses, they have gone virtual, they have gone online. And so before the pandemic, where you had to visit a store to buy a pair of shoe, now, as you mentioned, you can just have it delivered to you. You can pay through mobile banking or whatever other online services that they may have. But we also have to take into context that transitioning to a virtual or online platform, you would need some financial resources to bring that to fruition. How practical would you say it is for small businesses to do that against the backdrop of being, financially strained?
I get what you're saying, Mr. Cornelius. However, where's the will, there is the way. And we have our smart devices. They're very much smarter than what we use them for. And you could do so much with just your cell phone. So I want to also say before we leave that out of this, it's not only has been a daunting experience, but it has been an opportunity as well. We see many young people, many businesses are coming forward with services that we used to think are impossible. For some,
Yes.
the bureaucracy has been removed and things have been simplified and they're efficient. And so the young people, the middle-aged people are saying, I never used to do this before, but my mother come and she said, show me how to do this WhatsApp. Think I realize I have to send my prescription this way or so on. So there is the means. With the financial, start with your cell phone. If you don't have the means to build a website, start with your cell phone. Create a broadcast list. Create the means for persons to WhatsApp or video call you or whatever it is in order for you to get your service from in your house or in your storefront to their hands. And that's what we have to do. We can't say, oh, the people ain't coming to me. We have to get there to them, whether it's video calling or so. Even at Social Security, we have introduced video calling for our clients who can't come to us in order for us to ascertain that they are alive so that their pensions won't be disrupted. We've introduced WhatsApp video calling, and so businesses are using their innovative resources that's available without much cost. But for the bigger things, let's wait until things are even out and better for us to go all the way with the app and the digitization platforms. But we have our cell phones. We have TikTok, we have social media, we have the means to get our businesses out there and to stay afloat in the tough times.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for adding that, Ms. Lawrence. And I agree with you. I've seen a lot of young people after this pandemic struck. They were running their businesses from Facebook and WhatsApp.
Correct.
And I think that they have done tremendously well just for being faced with the financial problem. Ms. Wayland, would you like to comment?
I just wanted to say that there are tools out there that won't cost you a lot. You have your flow bill, and from your flow bill you get Facebook, you have WhatsApp, you have Instagram. There are so many tools that you could use to really further your business without spending a lot of money. And there are tools that are coming on all the time. I use JAD to pay for various things. And also we have launched, the ECCB has launched the Dcash app. Okay, and small businesses, that's one way that you could really get into the digital way of life. Getting signed up for Dcash, easy payments to your suppliers, receiving easy payments from your customers as long as you both have that Dcash app at your disposal. It takes less than, when we tested it takes less than 5 seconds to do a payment quick to someone or receive a payment quick from someone. So the tools are out there. and it doesn't cost a lot. Later on, as Camilla said, we'll look at the big things, but for now, let's start with what we have that's small and that's not very expensive, not exorbitant in terms of cost.
Thank you so much, Ms. Wayland. We'll take this quick break to have that jingle and 2 ads, and when we come back, we'll close out the program. Let's take this break, and we will be right back.
If you need protection, you need one who you can trust. To secure your investment, you need one who'll do you just. TDC Insurance, you're the one that you can trust. TDC Insurance, you're always safe with us.
TDC Insurance is your go-to insurance company for all your insurance needs. We take pride in offering you the best solutions and ensuring our customers are fully satisfied. TDC Insurance, we take good care of you, guaranteeing you peace of mind. You're always safe with us.
Maybe it's the way the brilliant gold liquid reflects our sunshine, or how the bright blue of its label mirrors the clear Caribbean skies overhead. Maybe it's the fresh, crisp taste of this beastly cold beer on a scorching hot day. Maybe it's even the way it brings us all together. But one thing is for sure, Carib is very much a part of who we are wherever we're from in the Caribbean. Carib, it's the way we play. Drink responsibly.
It's Financial Information Month in the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. Financial empowerment through education. If you don't know what that is, let me tell you all about it. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money. Business stability. Step up financially. Heavily reaches economy. Work to financial security. Prosperity for all of we. FIM is for you and me. FIM is for everybody. So tell your friends and your whole family. Financial empowerment through education. Build yourself and the entire region. Learn to spend wisely. Invest to grow your money. Business stability. Step up financially. Financial Information Month. Financial empowerment through education.
Welcome back to Inside the News on 1FM 98.9. We're just about 3 minutes before 12, and so we'll take that break at 12 for the headline news. For those of you who tuned in late, we have Miss Elizabeth Wayland, Senior Corporate Relations Officer at ECCB, and Camilla Lawrence, the Public Relations Manager, at Social Security. The topic of focus today is financial